Hello and welcome to the new game development presentation. My name is Josh Sharpshire, and presenting along with me today is Maurice Anderson, Kyle Brown, Crystal Holmes, Star Jorlman, and Christy McGonaghy. Now, after this presentation, we hope that Higher Solutions will feel confident in expanding into the gaming market. First, we will introduce the basic game idea and the audience and skill level of the game, as well as the type of game, setting, and characters, followed by player interactions and the objectives, rules, and limits of the game. Then, we will cover the platform in which the game is designed for and the rationale behind it. Finally, we will go over the tools and resources that are needed for development. Without further ado, let's get started. The basic game idea is to create a fighting game. A fighting game is going to be composed of elements from successful titles such as Street Fighter or Mortal Kombat, games like that. And each game like that has elements that make it successful to certain audience types. So it could range from the art style to the combat itself, the individual player abilities or actions, or even the looks. It could range from a variety of different things. The game itself is going to be 1 to 2 players, and those options are single player and multiplayer. The single player mode will fight an opponent that is controlled with artificial intelligence, or AI. And in multiplayer, players will fight against each other, and this could occur in both online or console versions. Each player select a character to play with, and that's the character that you control to fight with the other players. And you will do this by choosing your character on the character select screen, which consists of a number of different fighters to choose from. Now, each character in the game has a special set of fighting moves, and these moves are activated by pressing the buttons or the analog stick or the joystick in a particular order that will make the character do the move to the opponent. Now, the goal is the first player to knock out the other character wins, and this is out of 3 rounds, so best of 3. There's 3 different modes of gameplay. There's arcade, there's versus, and there's practice mode. Now, the arcade mode is where the player fights the AI opponent. With each victory, the background story of the character is revealed. Now, in versus mode, the player just fights the other player. This is where the multiplayer comes in. And in practice mode, the player fights a stationary opponent to practice special abilities and get better at their playstyle. Now, the other basic game idea element is the art style, which will play a role in the popularity of the game. And the art style is mainly the character design and environment, and that's what's going to jump out at other players. Now that brings us to our next portion, which is the audience and skill level. Now, Higher Solutions is reaching to a new target audience, and that is youth. However, the game is also geared for adults as well, so the game can be playable by youth to adults. Now, the type of audience the game is designed for is going to be of competitive nature because it's a fighting game. And individual player skill is going to be determined by reactionary movement, such as hand and eye coordination. Now, in regards to skill level, the difficulty in arcade mode can be adjusted to the following levels, from easy, normal, hard, and expert. And in easy, the opponent is going to be slower to react to the player moves. In normal, it's going to be that the opponent uses special abilities, the speed's increased. Hard mode is the opponent blocks more often, also uses special abilities. And in expert mode, the opponent's going to be able to perform combos or counter your attacks, as well as a combination from all the other difficulties. So the different difficulty levels will allow players of all skill levels to enjoy the game. Please welcome our next speaker, Crystal Holmes, who will be discussing the type of game, setting, and characters.